Honestly, what can you really say about this United team that you haven't already said before? You know, that the anger has disappeared. You know, Roy Keane explained that in one of his post-match reactions. It's just another game goes by. All I'm looking at is I'm crossing on the calendar, one game closer to Eric Ten Hag, one game closer to this season being over, one game closer to forgetting about United playing football for a couple of months. Tonight, somehow, we got a draw against Chelsea. I think that's more down to them than it was to us. They really should have easily put us away in that game. They didn't, and it's a draw. And what do you want to talk about from that game? Do you want to talk about the fact that it was another example of just this squad of players? Just they just looked as like spineless, gutless cowards. Gary Neville. There was something that really hit home with me in that first half, where Gary Neville said during his commentary that these players are supposed to be role models. They're supposed to be the people that youngsters look up to and go, you know, that's what I want to be. I want to be that Premier League footballer, privileged position, playing for United. Not many people get to do it. I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell from the performances of so many tonight. There was a great performance outside the ground before the game went on, and for 17 minutes into it, fantastic protest. The second game in a row. Well done to everybody who did that. And you saw the banners in the stadium. You saw everybody outside. And I hope this continues. I really, really do. Some people will question whether it's going to have any sort of impact. Anything that can be done to keep the conversation at the top of the narrative, I think it's a good thing. And I won't try and slag anybody for trying to organise that and trying to do it. But tonight, not even Cristiano Ronaldo could save this Manchester United team. He scored literally our last 5 goals. He scored 8 out of our last 9 goals overall. A wonderful goal, really. Matic, fantastic pass, looped over. Ronaldo, great finish. Incredible. But not even that energy surge that came inside Old Trafford after that Ronaldo equaliser brought this team upwards. It was just a collective. I've said it before. I've said it again. It's a clusterfuck. You saw how United played in that first half. We had 2 holding midfielders on that pitch, right? We had Nemanja Matic and Scott McTominay. And Chelsea were just walking through us, creating chance after chance after chance. One I remember is Kante just on the edge of the box, just waiting there, pulled back to him. Shot went straight into the arms of David De Gea. And I can't even really celebrate the fact that Alejandro Garnacho was able to make his debut. The 17-year-old, congratulations to him, man. The 17-year-old this season has trained with Messi and been called up to the Argentina senior squad. He's played a vital role in Manchester United's under-18s reaching the FA Youth Cup final, and that's coming up in a couple of weeks' time. Over 35,000 tickets sold at Old Trafford. That'll be the last good United game you'll watch this year. So I guarantee you should be watching that. And now he came on. I'll be honest, Ralph, what are you doing, man? Bringing Phil Jones and Juan Mata on for the last 10 minutes. Bit weird. That almost felt like a bit of a two thing and a bit of a fuck you from Ralph to the board. We hear reports tonight that Ralph Rangnick might be becoming Austrian's next national manager. It's not the first time we've heard those reports. I'll cover those in the morning. But I don't know what to say about this team anymore. Seriously. Just that feeling of anger's gone. The feeling of apathy towards these players is there. Just a complete and utter lack of enthusiasm you have for watching United. And every single game, they remind you exactly why, don't they? It's not as if you go into a game being negative and then you're like, oh, I'm sorry I was a pessimist going into that game. Look how much better we were. Just the players clearly have packed their bags. They packed their bags weeks and weeks ago, from the Leicester game to the Everton game to the Liverpool game to the Arsenal game. At least we stopped the rot, right? 4-0, 3-1, 1-1. That's progress. That's about as much of a positive as you can take from that game. You know, Reece James was probably named man of the match. Alex Telles, man. I wanted to see Alvaro Fernandez make a debut tonight, and I think he still should be making his debut before the end of the season. We need some new energy at fullback, man. Both positions. Delo's clearly not got enough to be our Reece James or our Trent Alexander-Arnold. Nowhere near enough. And Wan-Bissaka, I think he should be sold. Hopefully Crystal Palace buy him. Left back, Alex Telles. Nah, man. He might have a great whipped delivery. He might have a good set piece on him. No chance that he's ever going to become that fullback we need. I want to see Alvaro Fernandez making a debut against Brentford, whoever we're going to play between now and then. Is it Crystal Palace and Brighton, I think we've still got left? Not even this man. You saw him during that game, right? Dropping deep. You saw him like tracking back and trying to cover where Telles should have been covering. You saw him trying to bring everybody up. So stop sitting so deep, people. Come on. Come and play with me. Not play with me, but you know what I mean. Just, man, I don't know what to say anymore. I really don't know what to say anymore. Eric Ten Hag, man, you've got a hell of a job on your hands. You've got a hell of a job on your hands. As I said, there's such a sense of entitlement among these players. Like just training. Look, they might be great in training. We don't know whether they're good or bad, but judging what we're seeing on the pitch, they're probably not very good. They go and do that. They did that against Liverpool. They did that against Arsenal. They did that against Chelsea. And not even the energy of the Ronaldo equaliser and Old Trafford actually getting behind you. You saw what a difference Bruno going and making a decent tackle made. The Old Trafford crowd responded straight away. It's not as if they're asking and they have huge demands. Absolutely not. Bruno again today, and we spoke about this on the podcast, an inability to sort of slow the game down when we need to. No one really in that team has an ability to just play football. Just keep the ball, because if taking the possession away from Chelsea, trying to calm it down, trying to take an element of control back into the game. It's what United just haven't been able to do for a long time, and we won't be able to do until we've got a midfield. Look, you saw it again today. N'Golo Kante. Fantastic performance from him. Anonymous performance from Scott McTominay, and Matic obviously came up with the goods at the end there. But genuinely, it felt like Ralph Rangnick was trolling us by bringing on Phil Jones and Juan Mata when we had the likes of Alejandro Garnacho, Hannibal Medri on the bench, Alvaro Fernandez, youngsters who could have come on for the last 10 minutes there and enjoyed the atmosphere, soaked up. Instead, Alejandro Garnacho got, I think, 2 touches on the ball and 90 seconds and a pat on the back from Antonio Rudiger. No doubt he'll remember that, and no doubt it's a big moment for him to make his United debut. So congratulations to Garnacho. But this season has been just, wow, I can't even remember when it was. It's been dead and buried for a long time. That's the feeling, right? Ever since that performance that we saw against Leicester, there was a sneaking suspicion that these players are just, nah, man. Doesn't look like these players want to do it. And we saw that the week after against Everton, heads down, lost 1-0 against a team that was bang on relegation form. Honestly, I said it during the game. This United team, they play like they're relegated already, and they're just trying to see the season out. Not even this man's trying to inspire them by his actual consistent goals, constant goals that Ronaldo is scoring. Didn't matter at Arsenal. It didn't matter today. We got a draw. To me, that doesn't. But the result wouldn't have mattered today. I mean, maybe it would have mattered if we actually put in an actual stellar performance and we won the game. But other than that, it was just another game that passed a lot of these United players by. It's another game where we can just all be happy that it's ticked off, that we can go towards the end of the season. And as I said, if we're looking at the biggest positives tonight, maybe you're going to be looking at the fact that the Glazers' protest continued. And I hope they do continue. So well done to the 1958 for continuing to organise it. And I will continue to try and help push that as much as I possibly can. But Cristiano Ronaldo, man, I know that a lot of you, well, actually, no, not that many of you. Maybe it's more in the press. A lot of people think that Ronaldo is the problem. Ronaldo is a problem, a tactical issue that this United team and Eric Ten Hag has to solve. But I tell you what, man, he's not the problem. He really is not the problem. Everybody else in that set, like, maybe not. I'm not dragging Elanga into that. How bad was Marcus Rashford again today? I'll tell you what, man. I cannot remember the last time that Marcus Rashford dribbled past a player. Seriously. I don't know what has happened to him, but the more he plays, the further he gets sucked into quicksand. I don't know what's going on. I have fingers crossed that he's one of those players that really starts to shine under Eric Ten Hag. And I do get the feeling that he will run his form under better coaching. But, wow. Again, legitimately, I can't remember the last time he dribbled past a player. Anthony Elanga putting in the sorts of performances that have endeared him to United fans this season, because he stands out from the crowd. No one else can really look like they give a shit. And Elanga, at the very least, does. We've now got, 3 games for the end of the season? I think it's Brentford, Palace and Brighton. I might be wrong. But the sooner the season ends, the better. As I said, the only thing I'm really looking forward to between now and the end of the year in terms of football is that FA Youth Cup final. I think it's on the 11th of May. I might be right, might be wrong. It's at Old Trafford. If you can get down there, it's only going to be £1 a ticket. Make sure you go. But not even this man's goals can save United tonight. It's another game passes us by. Another game that shows that really none of these players have got any sense of pride about themselves. The first half was just another abomination of a performance. And I was surprised it took until the 60th minute, really, for Alonso to score. Chelsea should have scored a lot earlier. United didn't deserve anything from that game. Luckily, we've got Ronaldo. Luckily, Chelsea didn't score more than 1. That's all you can say about it. Garnacho, congratulations on your debut. Let me know what you think about that game in the comments below.